their county towards prosperity and lead them in a way that, like the rest of all the citizens of the republic, can enjoy the fruits of devolution. Perhaps, arguably, one of the best gifts that Kenyans have bequeathed unto themselves since independence. There is no doubt, Mr. Speaker, having sat here the last 2 days and listening to all the things that we have had opportunity to listen to and seen the videos that have been played, that there is trouble in Meru, that there are difficulties, that county, Mr. Speaker, needs assistance of this House. How you choose to assist the people of Meru, my good friends and colleagues, is in your hands. It is you to make a wise decision. We were reminded that in the next 48 hours, when we went through the motions of an impeachment hearing trial by plenary yesterday morning, Mr. Speaker, that convert yourself from being just an ordinary senator and be a neutral arbiter, be a sober judge, and deliver wise ruling and judgment that will leave the people of Meru County happy. I don't envy you. In fact, Mr. Speaker, after the conclusion of the trial, presented so ably by both lead counsels for the Assembly and the Governor, people that I know so well, and I've had opportunity to work with both of them in different forums, I actually had to seek solace in the Bible again, something that I do when I find myself at crossroads, and reread the story that is found in the book of 1 Kings, chapter 3, verse 16 to 28, where two women, and I intentionally avoid to characterize them as the Bible does because of certain connotations, Mr. Speaker, that have been issued in the process of moving this motion, had a disagreement with both claiming that the dead child belongs to the other, while the one that is alive belongs to them. And when they appeared before King Solomon, the wise judge made a decision that many of us do agree up to date, Mr. Speaker, that was incredibly wise and made the right decision in awarding the correct baby to the correct mother. Mr. Speaker, that is a duty that all the 47 delegations have today, to make a decision and see to which mother are you going to give Meru County. Because there is a part of Meru that is dead, there is a part of Meru that is alive. The duty that is before you, colleague senators, is to determine who has killed their baby and which mother should be left with which baby. Colleagues, I do not intend to be long on this process because you all understand the constraints of time that we have, the very difficult decisions that we have to make tonight, and you know very ably that by the stroke of midnight, we need to have made certain conclusions, or at least have converted into the exercise of voting. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, we will be forced to adjourn and wait until you gazette another sitting. And since it is not my intention, Mr. Speaker, to get us to that phase, I want to humbly request my colleagues to take time and think about the citizens of Meru as you make your final determination on how this matter should continue. Because, like we have listened, we have been properly advised that there are no easy decisions. Whether to impeach or not to impeach, each leaves us with a very difficult situation. In fact, in the course of consultations, many senators have walked up to me and suggested that, Majority Leader, why don't we as a House invoke Article 192 of the Constitution and just ask the people of Meru that they have a fresh start, that you send all these people packing and have the county dissolved. And perhaps after that realization, then the people of Meru can enjoy the fruits of devolution. It's not an easy decision. It's not an easy task that is ahead of us. To save or not to save is not just about whether you have been convinced or not convinced, because every decision that you make, when you eventually press the button to vote either yes, no, or even, I'm afraid, Senator Sifuna, even abstain has consequences today, unlike in other occasions. Colleague senators, this is a moment. I know that each of you pensively sat down, listened, and has reached a decision. But I'm willing to be convinced, and I guess that is the exercise that you're about to make in the next 1 hour. Listen to whatever points you have picked out from the trial that has gone on here, and hope that on any of the 7 charges that have been presented, it will be good to hear from you. Do you agree that all charges have either not been substantiated or some of them have been? The eventual point that I make, Mr. Speaker, is that eventually Meru will still need us, even after this vote, dear senators. When we conclude on this exercise and the vote tonight, it is my humble submission, Mr. Speaker, that we will still need to retreat and think through what options are available for that particular county. I am particularly troubled, Mr. Speaker, because to be sincere, I never knew of all those happenings until I saw the videos today. We must speak and condemn some of the things that we have seen in that particular video. I am a father of 2 girls, Mr. Speaker, and I'd wish to live a safe and a better heaven for my daughters eventually when I am out of leadership. Some of the things that we have seen, either leaders say or do, I'm afraid, Mr. Speaker, that is not the kind of world that we want for our sisters, for our mothers, for our daughters, for our wives. And I hope, Mr. Speaker, that because these videos have been brought to fore, it should not just end here in the Senate. I strongly believe that it is within the mandate of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, because these are ethics issues. When leaders say certain things about each other, EACC needs to pick cue and begin to question us so that we behave better and move from this kind of corruption of our moral fiber of our society. With those many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to move and request the leader of minority, the Honorable Retired Justice Stewart Madzayo, to second this motion. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Asante Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, kwanza nataka kuwashukuru maseneta kwa utulivu wao katika hizi siku 2 ambazo wameweza kuchukua kusikiza huu mjadala. Bwana Spika, huu ni mjadala ambao uko mbele ya Senate. Ni mjadala ambao unatakana sisi tusikize na alafu tuweze kufanya uamuzi ikiwa yako ushahidi wa kutosha, aidha kufurusha kutoka kwa ofisi, ama ikiwa hakuna, kuweza kumpatia nafasi nyingine aweze kuendelea. Huyu ambaye ni gavana Mwangaza wa Meru County. Bwana Spika, kibarua hichi, kama kuna wakati wowote ambao Senate inatakana kujitambua na kuweza kuonekana ikiwa iko kazini na inafanya kazi, ni wakati huu ambao inahusikana na serikali zetu za mashinani.